All right, what's up? What's going on, y'all? This is official right now. The Kevolution live in full effects RMX. For those who don't know, I had a radio show a long time ago. It didn't quite pan out the way I wanted it to, and I wanted to do this again. And I feel comfortable about this one because I'm in control of everything. So that makes me feel really good. Very first show, we got a special guest. And it's very funny that we should say special guest because the name of this person is Special K.
Oh, shucks. What's up? What's up? What's up?
What is going on? I appreciate you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thanks for having
Poet,
me.
artist right here in Richmond, Virginia.
Hostess with the mostest best there ever was on the East Coast, and don't you forget it.
The coast is... How do you remember this stuff?
Cause I just make stuff up and it sounds good, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna keep saying that.
It does sound good. It does sound good. So I gotta ask the most cliche question possible, but I feel like even though it's cliche as this sounds, I feel like this is a necessary question because there's people who may know who you are and have heard your stuff, and then there's people who are getting to know you for the first time today. So how did you start off? I'm sure you didn't just pop up in your head that you wanted to do poetry. I'm sure there was a procedure or a process. Don't laugh. I'm serious. There probably was some type of process or procedure. So what even made you want to do this?
Wait, have you met me? Do I seem like a process or a procedure person?
They trying to make me look evil. Trying to make me look evil.
Okay, wait. No, I feel sorry for those people who don't know me because I'm just so comfortable being me now that it's like, hey, okay, it's your show, Kevolution.
It's our
RMX.
show today.
I'm not gonna derail. I'm gonna answer your
No,
question.
Look, we are on no rails. So
Living dangerously.
we're living dangerously.
Okay, I don't remember there being a process.
Okay.
Really. I remember there being life. And I have always written for as long as I remember anything, writing has always been what I do. But I remember in 9th grade, a lot of life happened.
In 9th grade?
In 9th grade, yeah.
You had life happen early.
I had life happen before that. I just didn't have an outlet. But in 9th grade, I was it 9th grade? It might have been 10th grade. But anyway, I was a lifeguard and I was working at a pool and...
You swam?
I swim,
I
yes.
don't know a lot of black people that swim. I'm not trying to be cliche. I honestly don't know a lot of black people that swim.
No, I get it. My dad's side of my family, they don't swim.
At all?
Mm-mm.
Won't try to learn, no attempting.
No, not at all.
They just wade in the water. Like,
if they do that, like growing up, we had a pool in our backyard. Not like one of those above ground pools that was like a circle that everybody had, but we had like a pool, like, you know, had a deep end and everything. And I remember them coming to the house and they would just sit in like the patio furniture, but they wouldn't even like stick their feet in the water.
Just watch everybody else swim.
Yeah. Like me and all my friends. Caucasian friends.
If we wasn't filming this, I would say for everybody who is listening to this, Special K is an African American woman.
Yeah.
So, which threw me off guard because if you hear her and not see her, I swear you think you're talking to Becky. It's true.
Hi, how are you? I'm Becky. It's nice to meet you.
You probably everybody probably does exactly what you say on the phone when you call in complaining.
Right, because I can be a Karen and they don't realize that I'm just messing with them. I know how to write a letter. Let me talk to your manager. Like, right. But yeah, so I was a lifeguard 9th or 10th grade, and I was working at a pool where an older gentleman was living, and life happened. A lot of life happened. And I went back to school after that summer, not knowing how to deal with all of that life that had happened to me. And my English teacher was like, well, you love writing, so why don't you just write and get it out? And I did, and I actually wrote a book, but I don't remember what happened to that book. I remember my English teacher did something with it, and my mom had to sign some papers so that it could be published or whatever. But I was in 9th or 10th grade. I didn't really care.
But you had no idea that was going to be an outlet that you would even go into.
No.
She planted the seed, and then
right. She planted the seed, and like, you know, I took advantage of it for that moment, but I didn't realize that it was going to be like my best friend. It was like, hey, how you doing? Like for the rest of my life, and that's really what it is. So, again, not so much a process as there was life that was just like, hey.
So by you using that as an outlet, I'm assuming when she first came at you for this book idea and just to write and to do certain things, I'm assuming that the transition from then till now, there was no clear cut like way that you would put this stuff together from the start. Like now it seems like it's more polished. You got an idea, you have a concept. Was it the same then, or did you have to kind of find yourself just starting?
Oh no, I wasn't even looking for myself. I really was like, it was so much life and so much trauma and heaviness, and I just needed somebody to hear me, and not even realizing or not even being equipped to have the words that are like, hear me, like listen to me, like I'm hurting, I just didn't have those words. And so for my teacher to say, well, why don't you write them down, she wasn't even thinking we're gonna make this into a book. She was really, I can see that something is bothering you, I can see that something is troubling you, I know that you love to write it out. And then I just started writing, and I was writing poems, and they were really good for a 9th or 10th grader. And I don't even remember. I remember one of them was like, he knocks, and it was about the older man who lived at the pool, who, you know, took advantage of me being naive and stupid and all of that other stuff and young. And I just remember he knocks, and that was like the title of it. And she read that, and she was just like, oh my God.
It touched her.
It touched her, and then also she was like, I don't think that she expected the level of poeting that came out of me. I don't think that anybody expected it. It was
especially in the 9th grade.
Right, 9th or 10th grade. I don't think anybody expected that. And even my mom, I remember when she was like, your mom needs to give you permission for us to do anything with this. I remember my mom being like, yeah, okay. Like, here you go. Yeah, and then, but from then until now, of course now I seem polished, I hope, because now I have a game plan, and now I'm like, oh, this is what I want to do. This isn't just me having an outlet for life. This is my life.
Are there still factors of that in there, though?
Of that incident?
Not the incident, but it being an outlet. Like, I know now it's more so this is your life and it's what you do, but are there some certain instances where it is incorporated that is an outlet?
First and foremost, it is always an outlet. Okay. So a lot of poets write about like, the birds and the bees are beautiful.
Why you gotta say it like that? Now there's gonna be a poet that does those type of poetry that's gonna listen to this and be like, what you got against us?
I don't have anything against it. Nothing at all. I'm just saying that's not me. Everything that I write about comes from life, whether it's life that I have observed happening or life that has actually happened to me, but everything I write about is because I've seen it in life. So that is always going to be there. That's always going to be a factor. But now I've learned also that I don't share, especially if it's about me personally, if it's my life, I'm not going to share it until I have dealt with and healed from it, so those words can't keep hurting me.
I was about to ask you that. Is there ever times where you have this outlet and you have that one poem or that one or two poems that came from something that might have been something tragic that happened, that when you've gotten over it, you feel fine, but then you put out the poem and it just opens this door back and you start feeling it all over again? That's what I would be nervous about.
So the reason that I have that rule for myself is because that did happen. And I shared it before I had completely digested and healed from.
You shared the poem.
I shared the poem before I had like myself healed from it and before I was whole from it, which opened a whole nother door of healing and growth that I had to go through that I think I wouldn't have had to go through if I had healed from it and then put it out.
See, that's scary for me. That's scary. 'Cause I know everybody handles stuff differently, and like I know a lot of people they experience stuff, and then after they experience it, they put it into the back of their mind. They don't want to relive it. They don't want to open it back up. So it's almost like the moment that you decide, okay, I want to go ahead and do this poem about this. I know that I'm cool with it, but this is the first. I'm talking like first time you're actually performing, not second or third time, but it's the first time you doing whatever poem this is openly. You don't know how you're going to respond to that mentally at that moment.
Well, okay, true. I'll give you that.
But,
yes.
I know it's a but somewhere.
There is a but. There's always a but.
Butts are good.
They are. They're nice and juicy. No, stop. Focus. Okay.
Top Notch was just here.
Hey, Top Notch, how you doing?
We acting bad.
Okay, I'm gonna behave. I'm gonna behave. Shoot, what was the question? Okay, yeah. So yes, I don't know how I'm gonna react to it, but I know if I am healed, then it's less of opening this can of emotional hurt and more than just celebrating the fact that I am healed from it.
That's a good way of looking at it.
But also, because I know this about myself, because I know that my poems and my poetry and what I say are about life, I know that if I perform, going into a performance, and this is me, this is growth. It hasn't always been, but this is where I've landed and where I am now. But going into a performance, it's no longer kikiing and laughing and hey, how you doing with everybody around me. It's more coming into myself and preparing for the words that I'm getting ready to say. I am a big believer in God, and I truly believe that anything that comes out of my mouth, He's going to use to help someone else heal, and that's a really big responsibility. So because I understand that, and because I know that I write about life, I really, when I'm performing, come hug Special K, come love on me, whatever. But it's no longer, hey, how you doing? Da 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 da. Blah blah blah. It's like
a transformation.
Exactly. Like when you go to church and you see the pastor, and the pastor's like they go in the back room or whatever, and then they don't interact with people. Mm-hmm. That's kind of like what I do. It's like I go into my own inner room.
This is pre-show,
right? Nobody's there. I haven't even gotten there. But I have to go into my own room, and I have to make sure I'm not hurting, because whatever words I'm going to say, I know they're going to heal somebody else. They're going to help somebody else. And if I'm hurting, then that hurt is going to come through as opposed to the love and the healing. So, and then afterwards too, when I leave an event, I go back into that room and make sure that I'm still loving myself, that I'm still healing myself, that I didn't leave everything on the table, so to speak, and not have anything for myself.
Do you still stay separated from the people after the performance is over? Is that something you have to be like that the whole time, or is that just pre-show?
So that only that's pre-show and after show.
Even after show?
Yeah. So pre-show is like, I don't look like this all the time, guys.
I always figured when the show is over, then you can kind of compress from that.
Okay, so Special K, obviously, not my government name.
What?
Right. Shocking, I knew.
I thought your first name was Special, your middle initial was K, and then the last name was something that we would never find out.
I mean, I am pretty special.
I'm sure that Special K is what's on the birth certificate.
It should have been. It really should have been. But no. They named my parents name right. My parents named me this ordinary, plain Jane name, Kimberly
What's wrong with that?
Johnson. There's nothing wrong with it if you're plain Jane. There's nothing wrong with it. Except, do I present to you as plain Jane?
Now, that's 2 people you done pissed off. Now, the second group of people you done pissed off is anybody named Kimberly that doesn't do anything. You done just created 2 enemies for yourself in the last couple of minutes.
There's nobody named Kimberly who's just plain Jane. So we'll just go with that.
For your sake, it better be.
There's not. There's not. We're all special people. Yeah, so, but, oh my gosh, this is really weird. But I tell people, and you can tell me if it sounds weird. It's okay.
Look,
so.
I'm getting ready for it.
So Special K and Kim are 2 totally different entities.
I remember us having this conversation, and I didn't understand how you could keep both of them separated.
Because
there's a line that
there is a line. There's a line, and the way I look at it is, first of all, everybody doesn't have access to the innermost me.
That's by design.
That's by design. I mean, does everybody have access to you?
Very few. You're right.
Right.
Very
so,
few.
but because this is what I've chosen to do, and I've chosen to allow people to have access to me, there has to be a firm line, a firm place. You can't have this access. This is me. This is what belongs to my family. This is, because my kids, they know when Special K has shown up, and they know when Mom is around, and they go from, Mom, can I have this? Mom, can I do this?
So they've been exposed to Special K.
Oh yes, absolutely.
I didn't know if the Special K persona was something that you kept outside of household.
No. They know who Special K is. They recognize Special K, but they also recognize it as, for them, this is work. This is what I do to bring income into our house. So it's, for them, it's like, yeah, that's my mom, and that's Special K.
They can easily distinguish.
Right. And they, like, I just recently did my first Special K production. I did a Black History program, and so my whole family was there along with other people, but my own children not once said Mom the whole entire show. They addressed me as Special K.
That's got to take some training for them to be able to. Because I would think that that when kids have parents that do something in the lines of entertainment, they still want to go off of the family.
I don't think it's training, though. I think it's just, it is what it is. Like, because they see me, so when we're at the farm and my hair is a hot mess because I'm chasing horses, they see me.
Why are you chasing the horse? Why not just get on the horse and ride it into the stable? Why are you chasing that?
Have you ever had to go get a horse out of a field that doesn't want to work, that doesn't want to be ridden?
What's it doing in the field?
That's where they live. Like, that's their home. That's where they chill. But, they see this. Or they see me at 6 o'clock in the morning where I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for my 3-mile walk. And then they see me coming back and I've got like sweat drenched and it's not glistening or sparkling. Like, they see this. And then I also homeschool. And
I forgot you did.
Yeah, so I homeschool. So they see me and they're like, Mom, the teacher. And then I'm like, all right, guys, if I have a meeting or if I have a show, whether it's online or in person, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go get ready. They see the transformation. And then there's a whole attitude.
So even before before you even had to speak on any of that, a lot of their adjustments was made from a visual standpoint of what they saw.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a whole lot of them having to question anything. You didn't have to tell them to do certain stuff. They just knew based off of what they saw.
Exactly. And I never said, well, wait, that's not true. To my older kids, I did say I'm Special K. But that was because my older kids had come to events to support me. Mm-hmm. So my older kids, I did have to train them and say, I'm not Mom. Special K.
The older kids you had to train?
Not.
I would have thought it would have been the younger kids.
No, it was the older ones. But it was because
Wow.
it was the younger ones. it just kind of happened. It was a natural transition. Oh, you don't even act like my mom. You're not my mom. You're Special K. But the older ones missed out on seeing the process at home, seeing the transition. So now they show up to an event that I'm at to support me, and they want to be like, Mom. And I have to be like, who? I'm not your mom. Like, I'm Special K. I ain't got no kids. F them kids type of thing. Like, you know, all in jokes, all laughing. But they get it. You know, it happened real quick.
Do they like Special K? Honest answer. Honest, because I'm sure at some times they're like, they like mom, but can't stand Special K.
Oh, I think, okay, so it's different for all of them. So my oldest likes Special K, but really doesn't care for mom.
Well, I mean, are they the teenager? How old?
She's in her 20s. Then
early?
Yeah,
Well,
mid 20s. Then
I can see that.
Okay, so then my son loves mom, but does not like Special K.
Why not? He ever told you why?
You either like me or you don't, kind of thing.
He got no reason?
I haven't really ever asked him. I don't, because it's not going to change. Like,
or is it that you don't want to know? Or does it? Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because you're not going. If like you said, you're not going to change.
I don't really care.
What? It doesn't bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
A splash?
No, because I'm working. Like, you're gonna my child, whom I take care of, you're gonna be like, don't do that, don't bring money into the house. No, because I don't really care.
I gotta commend you on this though. There's you know, I know a lot of poets and artists and producers and stuff. I don't know many that can financially benefit because it's a difficult industry.
Oh, it's very
hard.
hard.
I have to commend you that you're able to get income off of it because it's very hard.
It's very hard, and I don't want to.
Yes, you do.
No. I really don't. I don't want to make it seem like, oh yeah, this is my job. This is what I do. I'm getting lots of this and da 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 da. No. Because when I decided that this is what I wanted to do, I was not bringing any money in. I would get like, a couple dollars here, there for doing features, but I wasn't consistently bringing money in. But I still said, this is my job. This is how I provide for my family, because I believe that what you speak is what happens. I just believe that what you speak into the atmosphere is what is going to come to fruition. So I have always said,
cold cash.
Exactly. This is my job. This is how I'm going to provide for my family. This is how I provide for my family. And then when things come up and it's like, oh, I have to do this in order to continue to present for my job, and to show up and to make what I do for a living better. It's never been like, I don't have the money to do that. It's been, how much is it going to cost? And this is when I can come up with the money to do this, because I know that it's a betterment for me in the long run. Does that make sense?
It does.
So I don't want anybody to be like, oh, she's a poet and she is rolling in the money, because that's not always the case.
It's a hard business.
It's a hard knock life.
Hard.
Right. But okay, so going back to what you said originally.
Yes.
Sorry, I got sidetracked.
Look, I told you there's here on the Kevolution, there's no plan.
Okay.
We wing it.
I love it. But all right, so that quiet room happens at home when I am transitioning from Kimberly to Special K. And then the transition back happens when I'm in my car on my way home. So by the time I get home,
you're back to being
I'm
mom.
Like, it looks like I have paint on my face, but Do you
ever get stuck?
No.
Never.
No, never. Because they're very clear boundaries.
I mean, even from the jump when you started doing this, those boundaries was always clear.
They were there, but I didn't know that they were boundaries, and they were in place. They were there for a totally different reason when I first started. So like when I first started performing, it wasn't in my head like, oh, let me let me develop this character. Like, no, it was actually Special K, the name came because I went to an open mic. It was like my second open mic ever. And I looked at the list and nobody's government name was on the list. Not one. And I looked, my best friend was with me and I knew the person who had put it on and I was just like, what am I supposed to write? And they were like, what? And I was like, what am I supposed to write? Like, I literally, I did not know what to write because I knew that those were not people's real names.
Now I'm gonna tell you, this right here is this is golden because I don't know the origins of the name. So now this is important stuff right here. But proceed on. I have to hear it.
Yeah. So my best friend who was with me, she goes, man, if you don't stop being so damn special and just put something on that paper. Now, mind you, I have been deliberating this so much that there are now like 7 people behind me. And I'm like, I was stuck in this place because I didn't know what to write. The person who was running it, Jay Gott, I don't know if you guys know him, but Jay Gott, he's a dope poet. He was running the open mic. He was no help. He was sitting there laughing at me. My best friend was getting frustrated with me and probably like a little of her spidey senses, you know, uncomfortableness were tingling.
At this point, they got a huge line.
Yes, because there's like 7 people behind me and I'm standing there like, what do I write, George? Like, and so she goes, girl, if you don't stop being so damn special. And I was like, all right, special. And I was like, Special Kim? No. And I was like, well, what if they don't like me? I'll just be like Special K. That's how Special K, the name, came about. And then the personality is like, it's always been my cover-up personality.
Uh-huh.
So I personally am hugely shy.
I don't believe it.
Hugely shy.
I don't believe it.
Well, of course you don't believe it because
Especially after your antics earlier.
But here's the thing.
Your antics when the fellas is in here recording and you got to do your hey.
Hi. So
Shy
here's the thing.
indeed,
You don't believe it
I don't believe
because the personality that I have created works. But yeah, I'm hugely shy.
I don't believe it.
If I just walk into a room and it's a room full of people and I don't know anybody, I'm a wallflower. I don't talk to people. I'm very like, oh, please don't talk to me because I don't know what I'm gonna say.
You're an introvert.
Very much so. Very much so. I
don't
love.
see it.
Yeah, that's me. I'd much rather like my personality is like let's play games at the house. Or,
You rather text than call.
Absolutely.
I think that's everybody now.
But okay, and then so back in 2013, like I, side note, I sued the school board, city of Richmond.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Google it. It's
Joe
Googleable.
Clark?
No, I'm not joking. Huh? What?
I thought that sounded like something Joe Clark would do.
No. Yeah, I mean basically, right? Yeah. So, but even then, like I would get up and I would have to talk to the school board and I would have to talk to like city council and I had to talk to like a bunch of people in the press and I had to literally like hold my hands because I would be shaking so bad. And I'm just, yeah.
So how do you not have that problem when you perform? Well, it's a different persona. Because I'm going to ask, how do you not have that problem when you're doing a show?
Because I have created this personality that I step into that is completely the opposite of me, the person.
But you can't like sprinkle some of that and then...
Oh, I do now. Of course I do, because it's me. It's me. It's not like I have a split personality and I disappear. It's, you know, they're both me. Special K is more of the person I wish that I could be. Like starting out. Now, Special K is just like...
Why can't you be her? Like I understand that's your creation, but why do you feel like you can't be her?
So
if it's your creation? It
goes back to the beginning, like the life and the trauma that happened to me. So like I said, I've had a lot of life and I've had a lot of trauma happen when I was a little kid. And those things caused me to go inside of myself and be afraid to talk to people, or afraid that I was going to mess up, or afraid that I was going to disappoint people. And I had a need, like an unquenchable thirst that people had to like me, that people had to, that everything would be okay as long as they liked me. Like, does that make sense? Okay, so even before there was poetry, there was that. And I would do antics and I would do things to make people like me, because I was dealing with all of this angst and trauma and everything. Like I remember I must have been like in 11th grade, so shortly after this incident, I went to school one day and I like dressed like a Christmas tree. Cause yeah, like I had this green velour dress on and I had on these brown boots.
What month was it?
It was December. It was
okay,
December.
I was great.
Yeah.
If you told me this was like in the middle of February.
September. No, it was December. But it was just like an example of like, I did it because I had that need of like, please like me. Please like me. You know, I want to make everybody happy. And you know, and I did stuff like that. So it's me. Special K is me, but now it's not me trying to get anybody to like me. I have taken all of these things that I used in survival mode and I've made them work for what I want to do. So, yeah.
And I think that's why, and this is not a knock against other poets, but I think that's why you are more memorable. Because I feel like everybody else that I've seen that does poetry, again, not a knock on them, it just seems like for them, it's so linear. You know they're going to go in and they're going to recite something. You have an idea what they're going to do. Whereas with you, it's more dimensional. So if I listen to somebody do a poem, or if you go first, I know after you do your poem, the next person that comes in, I may like it, but it's not going to be nowhere near the same dynamic. And it just turns into, yeah, they did okay. But I'm still remembering your set.
That's
because
so sweet.
It's true. It's true. Like the dynamic is, and it's more difficult for you guys. Because with rappers and singers, it's like, if no matter what position they're in, if they're not a good rapper or not a good singer, they can still be saved by their music. Whereas with poets, primarily their lyrics and their delivery is everything. They don't have nothing else to fall back on unless they have music behind it. But most of them it's just their voice.
Right. That's very true about that. And then like what you said about me. So a lot of the trauma, like I've healed from a lot of it, but you know, we all have like our inside issues, our closet issues or whatever. And like, I hear you say that and I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. I hear other people say that and I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. Like that's awesome that you think that about me. But 90% of the time, I don't think that about me. Like, what? And then
you going the modest route.
Like because I'm just like, I'm just doing what I love. I'm not trying to outshine anybody. I'm not trying to be.
It just happens.
Exactly. It just happens. But you know, there is that 10% of the time where I'm like, yeah, I did that. Like,
I know I'm the.
Yeah, like where I'm like, yeah.
Go behind me now. Go behind that. Like, were there ever shows that you did that you did not feel comfortable doing them?
Oh yeah.
Like environment, just the people where you was just like, let me just get through this and then I promise I will never do this again.
Absolutely.
You have to talk about it.
I have to talk about it. Do I have to talk about it? I don't think I do, but
you
I will.
Have to, like, I would like for you to talk about it. Like, there's got to be those horror stories where it's like, whether it be the environment, the people, whatever, it's got to be at least that one show where
okay, yeah. Like, there was, I'm sure there's been more than this one, but this one only is the one that comes to mind. So I think it was like my second or third feature. So I am like, I had only been on the scene for a year doing poetry.
You got a feature after a year?
Yeah. It was like, maybe a year and a half, but it wasn't that long. But I was new to it. And the person, I'm trying not to say names because I don't want anybody to know what show I was talking about. But so the person who had kind of taken me under their wing and kind of like build me up as a feature artist was like, hey, this so-and-so needs a poet for this exotic night. Exotic being another word for adult night. Paint party type thing. And I was like, word, okay, all right. And they were like, yeah, and you really want to get connected with this person because this person is so big, da 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 da.
It's always the person that's so big it can change your life.
Right, exactly.
It's always
this
that.
person can change your life and da 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 da.
It's like somebody that comes up to you that's working for 5 Links or working for one of them Wake Up Now or
right,
you gotta do a Primerica. This is all you gotta do. It'll change your life.
Exactly. Now, so I am not an erotic poet. Let me just put that out there.
Yet.
will not ever be. I will not ever be. But that's not to say that I don't write poems that deal in those topics because again, I write about life. So at the time, I had 2 poems that dealt with that type of life, that stuff that happens in life. And I was just like, here I am in like a turtleneck sweater and jeans, and I thought I
like Velma.
Right. I thought I looked actually good. I was like, yeah, look at me. Again, the personality hadn't quite developed. We weren't there yet. And I'm standing there, and there are like these naked women who had been painted. So they weren't. They weren't.
It was at that moment
that I was just like, what the hell am I doing here? Like this.
There was no warning given at all. It was just like.
I was told it was going to be an adult paint party.
It was adult, all right.
Indeed, it was. And I was just like.
You thought the pictures might have been a little risque, but you didn't know that the people were going to be risque.
Right. Like, and it. Please, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just right. If I had been given some warning, like, hey, this is what you're gonna see. And even when I was like, oh, okay, it's an adult party, and like, you know, my imagination, because let's be real, my imagination is kind of like, whoo, unicorns, like
that is not the place for you to be if that's
I'm just saying like my imagination, it never turns off. So I was like, oh, and I had been talking to the person who told me to go, and I was like, oh, I should take my whip, because, you know, I ride horses, so I was like, my horse whip, and I was like, I should wear this, and they were like, you should rein it in, and I was like, oh, okay, so in my mind, it wasn't gonna be that adult, because they told me to rein it in, and then I get there, and I was completely thrown, because it indeed was that adult, and I was just like,
sex was just in the air.
Right, and I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I felt like I was pretending to be somebody or something that I wasn't.
Had you known that's what that was going to be, would you have still done it with a different poem, or would you have just been like, nah, I'm not even going to entertain this?
I think at that time I would have still done it. Uh-huh. I would have made myself more comfortable. So and by more comfortable, I mean I would have felt like I would have dressed like I would fit in more, because at that time I hadn't dealt with all of everything that I have now, and I hadn't developed, and I wanted people to like me still. But now I'm more selective, and no is more a part of my vocabulary. So now, given that same situation, I probably would not do it. And I say probably because, you know, you never say never.
I was going to say, you never know. You never know.
But yeah, I probably wouldn't do it now.
What material do you have out now? I know that there is an album that is out. I know about that album.
There is an album. You produced that album. Or engineered it. You did engineer.
You stuck your foot in that album.
Did I? Did it taste good? Yeah. So Wordspiration Awakens by Special K. is available. Can I say it? Can I say it? Okay, it's www.specialk.
We'll make sure we put it on the screens.
Okay.
We'll put it at the bottom of the screens.
Like the ticker.
Yeah.
It's www.specialkpoetry.com is where you can get the download, and the physical stuff will be available as soon as I can stop paying bills and pay to
Look,
to
I'm gonna
get
tell
that.
you, them physicals is no joke. Them things cost money.
Right. And it's kind of like, do I really want to spend money on this?
But I'm gonna tell you what, you would make more money than putting it on streaming.
Well, I'm not on streaming.
What?
I'm not on streaming. Mm-mm.
Are you going to, or is it just not something you're interested in?
I'm just not interested.
You ain't missing nothing.
Yeah, and because I also have to look at it, why did I do it? And I did it because what I do creates revenue for me. So if I put it on streaming, I'm not getting revenue.
That's true.
So
and if you get anything, it's very small.
Right. So
very small.
Yeah, thank God for growth, because I don't need everybody to know about me, and I don't need everybody to like me now. And now I can really focus on why am I doing what I'm doing. And it's to generate revenue, because this is what I do for a living.
The bigger picture. There you
Yeah.
go.
So, but so I look at it, and I still battle with those insecurities of like, well, do people like me? Am I as good as I think I am? And so putting it on a physical thing has really been like, I've had the money several times, and several times I've talked in my head about like, yeah, we're not going to do this. That's a waste of
But
money.
at least they can still get it.
Right. You can get it
They can
download.
still
The
get
download is available. Yeah.
That's what you know what I think. If a lot of artists, and I'm guilty of it myself, but I think if a lot of us just said, we can take control of how we can get our money instead of just automatically throwing it on iTunes, automatically throwing it on Spotify and getting 1 cent per stream. I think if we all buckled down and just said, we're not letting these other companies get a slice of our money, they would probably change things.
Right. Absolutely.
But we're just like, well, everybody else has got this on iTunes, so I'm gonna put mine on iTunes.
Right. Well.
And then you get about like a good 50,000 streams, and then you check your account and you've made $12.
Right. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm not about that life.
I'm glad you ain't getting pimped, because I sure am.
I was getting pimped in other ways.
Well, for those who don't know, here at the Kevolution, I wanted to do something different. I keep saying the Kevolution. It's the Kevolution RMX. But I want to do something different. So even though we're coming towards the end of the interview, we're going to actually have Special K do a live performance. What song is you going to do? What piece? No, what piece are you
I'm
going
gonna
to do?
sing a song. No. So I'm
Do it for
gonna
Top
do. I'll sing for Top Notch.
Woo. Ow! Top Notch. I know you watching. Get your girl.
Come holler at me.
Yes,
No, seriously, come holler at me on Tuesday nights at Trivia Tuesday.
Yes, I was about. You know what? What a good segue.
Playbook.
What is it? Segue.
Segue, right? Yeah, I'm still gonna tell you what piece I'm gonna do, but I got a lot of stuff I want to tell y'all about.
Get him.
All right. So I do Trivia Tuesday in the Playbook Sports Bar and Grill, which is located at 6809 Midlothian Turnpike in Richmond, Virginia, inside of Rosie's The Casino.
Don't y'all act like y'all don't know where that is.
Right. Come see me every Tuesday, 7 p.m. It's free to play, free to have fun. Special K is there in full glory. You can win prizes. And I need y'all to show up because I'm on a month-to-month contract. Yeah. Y'all don't show up.
How many months you been there?
I've been there since January.
Hey, look, what, 3 months in?
Yeah, and I'm guaranteed April now. So.
Ooh, you doing something right.
It's God, baby, God.
You doing something right.
And then, okay, what else? Let's see. So that's that. You can follow me on Instagram, DVNMSKM. That's Divine Miss Kim with no vowels. And I have a little thing that I'm doing every Sunday called Sundays Are for Spoken Words, where I give other people's words power and I give voice to other people's words. So if you have a poem or whatever, if you have words that you want to be said, I'm going to say them.
Oh, that's unique.
So you can inbox me for that. And that's free because I just believe in giving back. On Facebook, I do Strong Finish Saturdays where I encourage you. We're going to finish the week. I've started doing the midweek quickie on Wednesdays.
Wait, hold up. This is called what?
Strong Finish Saturdays.
No.
On Wednesdays, I do the midweek quickie.
What?
Get your mind out of the gutter.
You the one that called it. You the one that said it.
Right. Kind of makes you tune in, doesn't it?
What happens during the midweek?
I encourage you to get over the hump. The hump of the week.
You encourage us to get over the hump.
With my clothes on. Words and wisdom.
It's funny you bringing up that show after a couple of minutes ago. It was top notch and
oh, it's still top notch. Always gonna be top notch. Hi, Ruski. How you doing? Hit my inbox. We gotta work together.
Don't tempt them.
Okay. No, seriously, we are gonna link, and I'm looking forward to doing that project. So yeah, Strong Finish Saturdays, midweek quickie on Wednesdays, both encouraging on Facebook. And I'm gonna go in places too.
Okay.
Let's see.
Do you take any engagements? Do you do anything like if somebody like a church wanted you to?
Absolutely.
You take everything.
No, I don't take everything.
Well, most.
All money isn't good money, so I don't take all money.
That's deep right there. Datum one.
But I do consider everything. Okay. So.
They would just have to talk to you and ask. You'd have to see what it entails.
Exactly. Okay. I'm also very big on I have a family and I'm not gonna let this overtake my family because my family is gonna be there forever and ever and ever, whereas this may not.
That's good. You don't let it consume you.
Exactly.
It consumes a lot of people.
Yeah. So yeah, it does, and it's sad to see. But also, okay, so if you happen to be listening or watching this and you are overseas, like in the UK, London, Birmingham area.
It's a mess over there.
Is it? But if you're there, I can't say why, wink, wink, wink. But April 27th through May 1st, just be like, hey, where should I be? I'll tell you where you should be. And future planning, if you want to go to Scotland, because, you're like, I like to travel and I want to get some stamps in my passport.
I don't have the money.
April, not April. This is a ways off. So you can save up. We can all go together. August 13th, 14th, and 15th, I am doing a poetry festival in Aberdeen, Scotland. And I feel bad. I cannot remember the name.
Well,
but yeah, I'm going to Aberdeen. So, save your money. Let's all go. The Saturday before that, which I believe is the Friday before that, which I think is August 5th, I will be at the VMFA for Rhythm on the River.
I've heard about that. That's Jamil's.
Yeah.
event.
Well, it's Jamil JC and the VMFA have partnered together. And it's an outdoor event. It's a family-friendly event. It's amazing. Yeah.
I'm glad that they got that partnership because he does a lot.
Yeah, he does. He's a great guy. What else do I have coming up? I'm available for collabs. I'm not unreachable. So I'm available for collabs, and I do a lot of outside of the box thinking. So even just tell me what you want or what you're looking for, and I can see if it's what fits into my path. I did just have my first Special K production, which, kind of happy and proud of that. Production, right? Special K production. It was an evening with the ancestors, celebration of Black history. And we did record that, and that is going to be available to see on the IndieTube You can watch it for $3.
Now I know everybody got $3.
Yep, you can watch. You'll be able to watch it for $3 on the IndieTube. It's not up yet.
That's less than a gallon of gas.
Right, right, and you don't have to go nowhere.
You ain't gotta go nowhere.
Right. And then during the pandemic, I did I did a lot of world traveling via Zoom during the pandemic. And so like I was able to partner with a spoken word artist, Skylar J. Winter from Australia, and we did a cinematic poetry film. So that is available on the IndieTube, or will be once my team gets that set up. And by team, I mean me.
I was going to say, wait a minute.
Yeah, so that'll be available, and you'll be able to watch that for, I think we said $3 for that one too. But you'll be able to watch it, and it's me and Skylar. But yeah, no, I am trying to build a team. I'm trying, right, because I still have I have a perfectionist complex really bad, where I'm like, I want something done and it's only going to be done right if I do it, but I'm trying to let go of that.
That's how Prince was.
Right. Yeah. I'm trying, that drives you into the ground though, and I'm trying to let go of it. So I do have an editor now, like, who does all of the video stuff, which also allows me to do my YouTube channel, which is Kicking It with Kay. So if you want to see like behind the scenes stuff, that'll be there. Yeah, gosh.
Staying busy.
I'm trying. I'm booked and busy. Like,
booked and busy.
Yeah, like I don't want to just be busy for no reason. I want to be booked and busy. Oh, I travel. So if you didn't get that already, I travel. So
she travels,
if
y'all.
you are somewhere outside of Richmond, Virginia, and you need a feature artist, because I am a feature artist who gets paid. I don't really operate in free anymore.
Nobody should.
Right. Even if it's a love offering, like I would accept, hey, can you come and we're going to do a love offering? Because if it's in my heart to do it, I'm going to do it. But just don't be like.
Don't jerk her around.
Yeah.
Don't, you call her to speak at the event or to do a piece, a couple of pieces. And then when it's time to go, you put a $10 bill in her hand.
Right. Like, come on now, like,
or a Food Line gift card or something.
Right. I mean, yeah, like, give me some gas to get to you, 'cause yeah, and maybe feed me. Like, I'm not saying that's like the bare minimum, or like that's like what I'll accept. I'm just saying, like, think about that, 'cause
look
gas,
out for her.
Yeah, gas. It takes gas. It takes money to get places, and I'm not asking anybody to front anything.
My tank was on E this morning on the way to church. I put $20 in there. It just grazed the fourth of tank. Yeah. And I got a 2-door car, a small car. It just grazed the fourth of tank. $20.
Yeah. To come here, my car was like, it was like, yeah, you have 34 miles till empty, and I was like, oh, okay, well, we might as well fill up, and it was like $60.
At least you can. I don't think I've ever filled up.
It was like, well, because that's my mother, like, in the back of my head. Like, you don't just put $2 or $5 or whatever in your car, because then you end up spending more money. Whereas if you just fill up, then you're good. Like,
good for a good week.
Right. And you don't have to be stressing. So just
I
do
might
it.
have to start doing that. What is you performing for us today?
Haha. The Apology. That is what I'm going to perform. And I don't, you know how like people have like, oh, the title album for the track or whatever,
like the single.
Yeah.
The hit, yeah.
So I don't have a single, and I don't have a title track for Wordspiration Awakens, but if I did, it would be The Apology. That's kind of like my anthem for the past 2 years or so.
Ooh, you don't need a single.
Right. I'm not a single kind of girl. However, I did write one that I am like, maybe this is just a single, because I'm not ready to
Is this on that
It's new shit that I was like gonna talk to you about, because it's like I need the fabulousness behind my voice.
You gonna put me to work.
Do you not want to work?
No.
Like, because if you don't really want to work, tell me. Like, here I am.
It's a challenge. I'm gonna tell you the difference between making beats and doing stuff for you is when I'm making beats for people. It's like the beat is already made, so people just come by and listen to something, and if they like it, they use it, and it's just it's whatever. When I'm doing, and I'm not trying to just boost you. I'm being honest. when I'm getting just vocals only, and I'm able to build around it, it's the challenge behind it is more enjoyable than just, okay, I'm just gonna make a beat, and if somebody like it, I just give it to them.
But don't you feel like it allows you to be creative in a way that other things don't?
It does, because if I'm making a beat for you, if you come by and record, and I'm putting music behind it, I know that I got free range to an extent, but I also know that there's a boundary within the vocals that the lyrics that you're saying. So I have freedom to create, but there's still like not guidelines, but it's still like bullet points that I kind of need.
Okay, but that's all in your head.
No,
yes,
I've got to follow.
Especially with me, because I have never said these are the guidelines.
You haven't. That's true. But I still feel like I want to stay in the realm of what you're saying.
Okay, but I think that's part of the creative genius. Side note, if you get the album Wordspiration Awakens, the apology is on there, and
it's a deep song.
Mr. Kev over here, he did the music and he did that damn thing. I think the music behind it is one of the reasons why so many people are like, boom.
But see, you know what? I'm gonna tell you. You know what kind of brought that creativeness in that track to me? You told me the background to that song,
which we're not gonna talk about today.
No, yeah, we gotta keep that one. But you told me when you told me the background, I knew in my head I had to make this sound like something that was urgent. Like it had to make it sound like that. This was like there was trouble.
And you did. You absolutely did.
Had you not told me that, I probably wouldn't have come up with that.
I don't know if I believe that.
No, I wouldn't have.
Because I didn't tell you the story behind like every single piece that we worked on, and you were like fire. So
that one connected more though. You gotta admit, you have to admit, out of all the tracks that I've done for you on that project, that one from a music to vocal standpoint connected more.
It did. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Because I knew the story behind it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll give that to you. I'll give it. But yeah. So sorry for you. You're not gonna hear the music behind it today. You're just gonna hear my voice.
We need to hear these vocals.
Right. Here, so. But if you want to hear the music, www.specialkpoetry.com. Wordspiration Awakens. You can get it for $12. Download. It's number 5
Track
on
5.
the album, right there in the middle.
You should have put that last.
No, but see, I had a story that I wanted to tell within the poetry. So,
that I did not know.
Yeah,
I did not know that the order of it was contingent upon the story he was trying to tell for the whole project. I thought it was just like each one was its own kind of.
No, I mean each one is its own piece, but
they're connected in a way.
To me, they connect and they tell a story of my progression.
Gotcha.
So
I learned something. That's 2 things that I've learned today.
Do you feel smarter?
The name got me because I had no idea that's how.
Yeah.
Well, look, y'all hang out. We're gonna have more Special K. She's gonna be up in the building live. The apology.
Are we done already?
You know, look, we've been rolling for almost an hour. It goes by so fast.
Oh my god.
So
are you serious? Are you joshing me?
You look at this. 58 minutes. We've been rolling.
I love y'all. Oh my god.
It goes by so fast.
Okay.
It goes by. I try to make it so that it's not a chore, because like people, you watch these podcasts like Joe Buttons and who's the other guy, Vlad, and all these people, and all they do is talk. They're supposed to be interviewing, but they just talk about themselves. So it's like the person that's being interviewed, I feel like they're probably like, why am I here? like literally. So I try to make it enjoyable for y'all. So I try to ask stuff that I don't know personally, or that other people. So that's why that time went by so fast. Just always thinking about yourself. I need more time. I'm just playing.
Hey, guys, what's up? It's your girl, Special K, and I am here to do the apology. I wanted to apologize for whatever that massive thing was that ripped you away from my bosom like a babe being ripped from a black mother's arms and sold to the white man on the next plantation. I wanted to apologize because I must have dropped the ball on this empire, and I know we were supposed to be building a nation. I wanted to apologize for straightening your crown, or not seeing that it was crooked. I wanted to apologize for opening my mouth when you thought it should have remained closed, or choosing instead not to let my words flow. Whatever crime I committed, I wanted to apologize. And I say whatever because honestly, really, I don't know. I wanted to apologize because somehow I must have let this crystal ball slip through loose fingertips, and it was the one that held our future. Now it's gone. Just disappeared into thin air. And my head is heavy, and my neck aches from the weight of the shame attributed to my part in this breaking up. I wanted to say I would do anything to fix this mess I've made. If only I could see where I knocked something over, dropped something to the floor, or wherever this unraveling was created. But I can't see. And maybe that's due to tears that fall from puffy red eyes caused by all the shards of glass in my back. I knew you played darts. But I never knew you threw knives too. And I can't bring my mouth and vocal cords to work together to form the words of an apology. Can't let those wisps of air pass my lips to utter some flimsy apology, especially when all around me I am surrounded by nothing but catastrophe. And you never once stopped to check on me. Instead, you ready aim fired your assault on me. Each bullet designed to rip into me and tear me apart. I cannot apologize to you when it is so evident that you didn't care if I was already practically barely breathing and dead anyway. And so for a brief moment, clarity. And I somehow managed to lift my head. And I know this apology I've been grappling over will never be uttered to the likes of you. Instead, I choose to apologize to me for thinking you were better, for placing you in a light that shined brighter than my own. I apologize to me for thinking that I owed you something when you provided no type of explanation, and there certainly isn't one forthcoming. I apologize to me for thinking I needed your love. I treated it like a drug, and I acted like an addict, and I'm not that broken, mentally abused victim. And I apologize to me for reverting back to that girl I used to be in this situation. I apologize to me for thinking all guilt was mine to behold, and that I have permitted this narrative you speak to be the only one that is told. I apologize to me for doubting my self-worth, for forgetting I am enough. This is the apology I will bring to the table. These are the words I can say without questioning if I am able. I apologize to me, and going forward, I promise to do better. So tell me, self, do you accept my apology? because I sincerely apologize to me.